The job posting was one of those things you're sure is a typo. Night archivist wanted, minimal experience necessary, must be comfortable with solitude. The pay was, frankly, stupidly good for a broke university student like me. The interview was even stranger. It was in a massive grey building downtown that looked like a Cold War-era government facility. The man who hired me, Mr. Abernathy, was a skeletal figure in a tweed jacket that seemed a size too big for him. "The work is simple, Liam," he said, his voice dry as rustling paper. "We have a vast collection of analog audio recordings, reels, cassettes, vinyls. Your job is to digitize them. You'll have a list each night. You listen, you record, you label the digital file. That's it." The archive itself was a cathedral of forgotten sounds. Endless metal shelves stretched up into the darkness holding millions of moments trapped on magnetic tape. Old news broadcasts from All India Radio, interviews with forgotten poets, hours of ambient nature sounds. It was eerie, but after a week the solitude became comfortable. The gentle hum of the equipment was my only companion. On my second day, Abernathy had given me a single stark warning. He'd stopped me at the door, his hand resting on my shoulder, his grip surprisingly firm. "You will come across acquisitions that are unusual," he said, his eyes not twinkling in the slightest. "Most are unmarked. Some might have a single digit on them, a 0, for instance. We call them the nameless acquisitions. If you find one, your job is to log its existence, place it in the red incineration bin by the furnace, and forget you ever saw it. Do not, under any circumstances, play it. Is that clear?" It was bizarre, but for the money I was making, I would have agreed to just about anything. For 2 months, the job was a dream. I listened to the first moon landing broadcast, the Declaration of Indian Independence, a chilling recording of a mountaineer's last words from a recovered radio. I was a ghost listening to other ghosts. I never saw a nameless acquisition, and I began to think Abernathy was just a strange old man with a flair for the dramatic. Then came last Tuesday. I was working my way through a box of tapes from a defunct university's psychology department. They were mostly dull, sleep studies, word association tests. Near the bottom of the box was a small, black reel. It had no official label, no serial number, just a single, faded 0, scrawled in what looked like red ink. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was it. I should have just walked it over to the red bin. I really should have. But 2 months of silence and routine had made me bold and overwhelmingly curious. What could possibly be so bad it needed to be incinerated? Some kind of state secret? A recording of a crime? My brain did that thing where it builds its own permission slip. Just a few seconds, I told myself. What's the harm in a few seconds? I threaded the tape onto the machine, the plastic reel cold against my fingertips. I put on my professional-grade headphones, the ones that seal out all other sound, and I pressed play. For the first 10 seconds, there was nothing but static, a heavy hiss, like an empty shoreline on a stormy night. I was about to stop it, disappointed, when I heard something underneath the hiss, a sound hiding in the noise. It was a murmur. It wasn't one voice, but a thousand overlapping, distressed whispers, all speaking at once. It was a hive of suffering, a chorus of hushed, frantic voices, none of them clear enough to understand, but the emotion was unmistakable. Fear, pain, confusion. It was the sound of a crowd of people all having the worst moment of their lives at the same time, compressed into a single, horrifying signal. A cold dread, slick and oily, washed over me. The hairs on my arms stood up. I felt a strange pressure in my ears, as if the sound was physically trying to get inside my head. I ripped the headphones off, my breath catching in my throat. The silence of the archive rushed back in, but it felt different now. It felt heavy, like it was watching me. With trembling hands, I unthreaded the tape, walked it over to the red bin and dropped it in. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I could hear that terrible, static-laced murmur. The next day, I almost called in sick, but I needed the money. The night was agonizing. The familiar hum of the servers now seemed to hold a new tone. The creaks of the old building sounded like footsteps. I finished my shift, exhausted, and went home. I sat at my computer trying to distract myself with some music. I put on my own headphones to block out the world and clicked on a song. But as the track started, I heard it. Faint, but there, underneath the melody buried in the digital compression, was the murmur. That same chorus of whispers. I threw my headphones across the room. My heart was pounding. It was impossible. It had to be my mind playing tricks on me. But it wasn't. Over the last week, it's gotten worse. I hear it in the hum of the refrigerator. I hear it in the static between radio stations. I hear it in the sound of the air conditioner. Last night I was lying in bed in the dead silence of my apartment, and I could still hear it, fainter than ever, echoing in the cavities of my own skull. I quit the job yesterday. I sent Abernathy a one-line email. He didn't reply, but it doesn't matter. The sound didn't stay in the archive. I took it with me. Sometimes when the murmur is particularly loud, I think I can almost make out a single coherent word from the chaos. A name, a place, a cry for help. The scariest part is this. The murmur is changing. It's getting clearer. And I've started to realize that the tape wasn't a recording of something. It was a recording for something. A way to transmit it. The real archive was never in that building. It's in the people who listen. It's in me. And it's still recording,